My name is Maureen Yarbrough, and I have started a sign company 19 years ago. I was previously in the sign industry and just always felt like there was a different way that we could market to customers and help people with getting their signs. I felt like there's such a huge disparity between custom signs and signs that you buy online or right off the shelf. So, all throughout really the past 15 years, I've felt like there needs to be some kind of easier way for people and other sign companies to be able to purchase signs that aren't full-on custom or fully off the shelf. Is there a happy medium? And so through that, a division of our company was born called Sign Studio. And Sign Studio is really what I'm here to talk about, just not only for people who want to buy signs online, but also for sign companies who would like another solution to be able to easily get into the interior sign industry. If you are maybe just a print shop, or maybe you just print banners, but you have people walk in the door that need something easy, or you are an exterior sign company, but your client also needs just a few interior signs, I wanted to be able to provide, people to increase their offerings and increase their bottom line. And it helps me, really, it's helped me just to continue to think and grow and just try and make the sign industry easier for people in general. So anyway, that is kind of in a nutshell how Sign Studio was born. And what I found was that it was easy to create all these different, I've worked on thousands of projects in the last 20 some odd years. And there is a rhythm to people need the same type of signs for all the projects with just slight variations, but it was hard to keep it simple. So how could I come up with something that was simple, that gave pops of color without being, without having to just reinvent the wheel every time? So Sign Studio was born, and it really takes basic concepts and just adds a little bit of creativity, a little pop of color, so that your brand can actually speak for itself, and the signs that you put in your office or in your store or in your coffee shop or in your whatever it is, your could even be your service station or your so many places have restrooms and just have very slight sign, just a few signs that are needed. How can we carry on that brand throughout? People spend a lot of money on interiors. I go in all these restaurants and you see these amazing finishes, and then they have the signs that you get at the Home Depot. Not to knock the molded signs, but it really isn't paying attention to the last details. And I wanted to be able to offer something that could compete with those molded plastic signs. So actually, in some just little simple signs, we came up with doing restroom signs that can compete with the molded signs, and they're changeable. So they don't have to be changeable, but you could permanently add a background behind it, or you could change it out to the seasons, but to add just little personality or pops of color or character or whatever to just carry your brand throughout the finishes in your store very easily, economically, and creatively.
Did that idea stem from, as far as the restroom signs and the changeable inserts and creativity behind it?
I've always liked changeable signs. I realized early on in the business that it's a pain in the neck. It was a pain for me to change someone's nameplate. Someone adds a new employee and it takes a custom sign shop to create a piece of vinyl or to be able to change that sign. And so what I thought is, if I can concentrate more on something that let the customer change those inserts, then they weren't getting irritated with me over a $35 insert or $15, $10, whatever it was. I could create something that looked custom, that they could change those name signs on offices or cubicles, and I could move on to other projects. And I know people used to say, you left money on the table, that's repeat business and stuff, but it also was costing me time, and it was costing frustration where they'd forget. They had someone starting the very next day, and in order for us to get it in the queue for production or whatever, it took too much time. So they felt like they had control. I could give them templates. So anyway, the idea for the restroom signs kind of was born from that. And it was thinking, why do restroom signs have to be so boring? Why can't, and I, grew up playing with paper dolls and, changing stuff. And so I would just play around with color, and I thought, why can't we do the same thing for the restroom signs? Why can't we change either, if it's simple, change the color behind them, or why can't we dress them up like a character? My struggle was trying to figure out how to do that where you had a standard base. So it wasn't every single restroom sign was created differently. And it really was a lot of trial and error, a lot of things that I thought were good ideas, a lot of mishaps, and really going around to people that could see the dream and see the vision and come up with creative ways that we could compete with the molded restroom signs. So we have a patent. So
I was going to say, tell us about the patent.
So through that process, and earlier on, I'm maybe a serial entrepreneur, I don't know, but I'm always a thinker trying to figure out a different way or something creative. So many years ago, I got a patent on another product. So I knew the process, and this was more for the gift and retail area. But I thought, I didn't want every, in signage, every single thing is custom. So, what's patentable about it? But I knew that what I was trying to do was creative and different. And so I did go through the patent process, and it was a long, multi-year process in order to receive the patent. And we have received the patent and feel really excited about it, because it gives us hopefully protection, but also gives us an ability to keep expanding and thinking and growing. And I'm wondering what's next. I don't know, but getting this off the ground, I think is really important to me, and just a great opportunity, hopefully, that we can become partners in helping other companies increase their offerings, and also to hopefully have a lot of competition for those regular, just standard signs you see. So just to replace those and make everything look like it was meant to be.
What is your goal with this podcast and our listeners? What do you really want our listeners to gain from this podcast?
So the goal for this podcast is really, I would imagine that most of the people that look for a podcast like this are somehow tied to the sign industry, whether it's through interior design or whether it's through even furniture sales or other sign companies. And so they want to increase their offerings for their customers and feel, I want to build a partnership with people that we can serve them in providing their customers with another option that's just that they can feel good about, that is something simple, maybe that they don't have the budget for a full-on custom sign package, but also I don't want to compete with custom sign companies because Sign Studio is not going to do the custom orders for you. You should have a partnership with those needs. But if you have somebody that just wants something that's clean and neat and simple with just maybe slight pops of color, of course the copy will have to be changed, if it needs to be ADA compliant. But what I want to do is help to build people's confidence that you can provide those offerings to other companies or to your own clients and feel good about that so that you don't have to turn them to somebody else.
I also think as far as it being easy for other people would be a goal. Maybe touch a little bit on that as far as like going to the website.
We've had partners in different areas of the production process for sure for years. Some of it we have always subbed out, you can only buy certain things from certain clients. And so what we have done is I've really taken our experiences from ordering from other vendors and said, what would have been nice for me? So we have created order sheets really that try to make it as easy as possible to get the information to us. Hey, these are the sign types that are needed for these certain things, and this is what the copy needs to be, and you can just fill them out as a PDF online. You could email them to us. You can create a list to us. Is really making that process as easy as possible. And so we have created really an order form for every single sign type that we have. And then, we try to have a list of common PMS colors to choose from to add your pop of color, just so that we created enough variety of color combination to help with anything. But, if someone has a brand color that's a specific PMS color, we can certainly accommodate that too. There's two ways that you can look at us. And really you can look at it through, you might be a sign company or might have a customer that they need 3 signs and it's really too small for you to mess with. And so, but you could send them to, we have 2 websites. One is really designed for very simple, someone that just needs to order a few signs. And we sell those at a retail price. So we don't want to compete for wholesalers. So we have created that in order that we won't undercut you. The intention is never to do that. We have a Sign Studio Create and a Shop Sign Studio. One is designed for retail and one is designed for wholesalers or resellers. And so that way then we have catalogs available, the order sheets available, or you can order directly online. So that way then if someone just needs 3 signs, maybe a men's, a women's, an electrical sign, they can just order it directly off the website. You don't have to mess with it. Or if you want to sell them directly through Sign Studio as a reseller for us, then we have special pricing for you so that you could still sell it below what our retail price would be. So we try to protect resellers, but also have a convenience for the person who's just trying to get a couple of signs for their restaurant or coffee shop or whatever.